Alright, now we're getting down into the real thick of it. This is the top 16, round 2. I'm at 1-0, so I just need to win 2 more. Need to go 3-2 this day to make top 8. From this point on, all of my matches were streamed. I think it's still valuable to get my perspective on it and to get it one-sided, like so you don't have perfect information seeing both hands. There's definitely something to be said for that. So here, this hand is perfect. It's got like 3 power, both factions, has a sling, has a 2-drop. This is another really great matchup for me. I got a lucky pairing of Virgin Mary on Mono Shadow. It's like they have some time and justice sources, so they can play 8 Salixes, and they have a Market, Display of Vision, and main deck 4 Send an Agent. But the way that they can get the Display of Vision is only with Shadow Etching, so they need to have 4S and a unit in play and have all 3 influence, so I can just easily run out this sling here. I do draw another power here, but it's a Dazzle, or I need a Plunder for it, so I have to awkwardly pass and hope that they play a unit or spell, and anything they play, I'm just going to snap off the Dazzle on so that I can start slamming Torgovs here. Even if it's awkwardly like a unit that dies to sling, I still have to dazzle it even if I'm going to siege break it immediately. And here it is, a Wasteland Broker. And like, their market is just complete nonsense against me. Like, basically nothing matters as long as I have sling, so we are kind of on easy street. Notably, they do have a relic for the siege breaker, that being Marionette Cross. So I don't want to just go crazy breaking at the first opportunity. I'm going to start with a Torgov. And I'm probably not going to petition for a while. Like, I do still want to develop the board and play the siege breaker. So I'll wait till I have a 6th power, basically. Oh, I did go for the Salix here. Okay, so here what I'm thinking is I want to transpose for Toad Colony probably and draw cards, unless they play a threat like what was their 5-drop Carvet, for example. Then I want to grab Turn to Seed. I'm going for Aramont, which is also a hilarious Siegebreaker target. So now I actually want them to hit me with the Aramont, so that I can siege break to kill the Aramont Cursed Relic and kill another unit. Awkwardly Transpose gives me a face Aegis, and if Aramont attacks you and you have a face Aegis, it just pops your Aegis. Like, the Aramont doesn't turn into the Cursed Relic, so now I don't want to transpose, and I kind of awkwardly wasted my last turn. I think it would have been better to just slam the breaker, even at risk of it dying and them getting a Marionette Cross, because I can always then transpose for Toad Colony and block it while drawing cards. Fortunately, I draw Siege Train, so it doesn't really matter. I can just slam the train. And I don't choose Aramont again because I'm going for that Siege Breaker double whammy. And I choose Emberfury Blade because I have another unit in play, so I'll be able to get the maximum stats. There's the Icaria, so here comes the old, and very smart that they don't attack, but here comes the old Turn to Seed if I want it, or I can very cutely play the second sling and hope to entice them into attacking me, and I won't lose the spells in my hand because Transpose blocks that, and then works out totally perfectly for me as they attack and turn the Aramont into a relic. So this is pretty much the end of the game here. But yeah, sure, kill my 2/2. I don't care at all. This is gonna deal 7 and kill both of their units. Pretty good siege breaker if I do say so myself. Oh, never mind, it's gonna deal 5 and kill 3 units. I have Turn to Siege just as a backup removal spell because I don't have another fatty, and I draw another Siege Breaker, so, you know. But, oh yeah, this is actually lethal with Transpose. Once since they play a 2 health unit that does 10, 12 lethal. doesn't actually matter. And so they made me wait a really, really long time before they entered the game and played their first power. So I kind of stalled on the market thing for a second to kind of goad them, like, I can taunt too. Don't mess with me, punk. Alright, so game 2. First hand, just not enough power. It's bad. Second hand has Sling. It's great. So here, I don't really need to have Face Aegis, so I can afford to just play this Cobalt Waystone while I'm waiting for second fire to hopefully draw cards off all these Silexes. Although they do have Icaria, so it's not completely irrelevant. But here we just get to slam the Sling. And after perma this, just so that they don't get a another unit off of their Acantha. So the reason I don't Sling here is because the Siegebreaker is my only Sling trigger, and again, Siegebreaker is kind of awkward when they can fetch Mariana Crosses off of it, so ideally I want to hit a Cross or an Aramod or something with it, so I'm okay waiting a little bit. And then they could have had Fourth Shadow and then Shadow Etchings for Display Vision. So I just want to make absolutely certain that my Sling stays safe. Since if I have the Aegis up and transpose, then I will probably win the game. So that's why I waited one turn. They have the Valor to like kind of blow out the Permafrost, I guess, but like them getting a Wisdom for 2 isn't the end of the world. And getting an extra guy here isn't the end of the world when I have a Wisdom of the Elders, so I'll likely be able to find more fatties and deal them more damage and stuff. So here I just kind of have to break her. And like it's probably going to get sent an Agented, and they're going to get, yep, and they're going to get a Cross, but I don't want them to snowball out of control with the Acantha, and I have no other way to truly answer it. And I can draw a lot of cards, so really I just need to stay alive, so Transpose or Total Colony is a good option to keep in mind. Here they go Carvet, which is really big, and I don't want it to pop my Face Aegis either, so I'm going to have to just grab Turn to Seed here. I pick up a Dazzle, which is not terrible, and the reason that I transposed that end of turn instead of my turn is because I knew that I had the Silex and was going to get the Trove, so I might as well be efficient with my power. And I can't think of anything that I'd want to Dazzle, like none other spells matter. I don't need to stun a unit here, so let's let them take their turn. And I draw another 6 strength unit, so this is great. Just hit him with a Siege Train, and then I choose Piercing Shot because I don't have another unit in play, so I can't guarantee Emberfury Blade value, and I want to clean up the seed before it grows up. This game might go long. My hand is a bunch of card draw, so I can definitely see ways that I'm not finishing it in the next 5 turns. Here I debate Dazzling it and decide that I do want to, since I don't have any other units and there's not very many Dazzle targets, and I'm probably going to use all my power on Wisdoms the next couple turns anyways. But they have a follow-up removal spell, so farewell Siege Train. Man, these Grand Renders ended up looking really silly in retrospect, and I wish we'd played the Lightning Storms that we almost played. But fortunately I have Transpose to ditch it for an actually useful card, that being Total Colony, to both block and draw cards. And I draw Geminon, and that should just be it. Like, they don't have anything that kills Geminon besides Icaria, and they're using Icaria on Total Colony. I have Face Aegis, so this Icaria doesn't make me discard these Wisdoms. If they have Shadow Etchings at this point and blow up my Sling, I don't care, and I draw another Sling. So we are just on easy street. Again, these Shadow mid-range matchups are just a joke, and like basically all the non-TJS decks, like mid-range decks that can't remove Sling in more than one way, are just jokes. You need to have a main deck. Like, one piece of relic removal in the market is not enough to get through the Cobalt Waystones and the Transposes. Like, getting your Silex, whatever. Alright, Seer doesn't have that many targets, so Searing Incarnus is very appealing. This Magic is about to grow up, so I'm going to permafrost that. Very power efficient as well. I here get blown up with the Incarnus Invoke. Eye for an Eye, killing Geminon and drawing back a card, yeah, so now I am no longer in the driver's seat so much, and I have to kind of grind my way back into it, but with 2 Wisdoms and another Sling in hand, I think I'll be okay. And I have enough power now to play Sling plus any fatty in my deck in the same turn, so I think it would have been better for me to Wisdom than play the second Sling. But playing the second Sling doesn't do anything for me with no trigger, so I should have just Wisdomed. Like, my next turn is going to be Wisdom anyway, so I might as well seen what I was going to draw and then decide whether I still wanted to spend that power on Sling. And here I'm just counting how many good draws I've left in my deck, which is something I do in close games where I need to draw something. Here they play a couple of 5/5s, but I've got a Permafrost for the Doom and Jump Blockers for the Marionette Cross, and then I draw a Siegebreaker to kill both of them. So here, kill that, hit it twice, so I get to deal an extra 6 face damage and blow up the cross. And now if they play a unit and I draw an Overwhelmer, the game is over. Hey, and there's a unit. They drew a Marionette Cross. So I just need to draw a fatty. Well, I guess a non-Geminon fatty. That ain't it. So since I have them dead either way, I just Permafrost this Marionette Cross. Like, I can just double shoot the Blade Moth or whatever. I'll play a 1/1 and start chipping in there, why not? I have plenty of power in hand for plundering if I draw a Huntress or Dazzle or something. And if I get one Plink in with a Granite and draw another Seer, for example, I could find lethal that way. I guess presuming they don't play the Ikaria that I know they have in hand. And here I'm counting, I'm seeing if Transpose counts as a good draw yet. Impending Doom, tick tick, you're at 6, and then I just draw Siegebreaker, so that'll be that. Boom, boom, boom. And 2-0, and I'm just heading into Throne for the rest of the tournament.